Hola, hi, it's your girl NK. Welcome to my channel, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. So guys, this is the part 2 that I promised about the tips about Redeemers University. So I wrote down all the things I promised that I was going to tell you, and let's get right into it. We need to talk about resumption. Like, freshers really need to know this. So when you are resuming, the very first thing you do on that day is your medical test. Like, your medical test, they give you a slip when they have done the test and approved it, and it's that slip that you use to enter into the hostel to drop your stuff before you have to process your documents. So the test is a urine test. It's going to test you for drugs. That is it. If you do drugs, you cannot come to Redeemers University unless you repent. Yes, you can't come to Redeemers University high or have any sort of illegal substance in your system. So if you wanted to try that, don't do it. So they're going to do your drug test based on your urine, and that slip that they give you is what you use to enter into the hostel. So you need to have paid at least 40% of your school fee to be able to get into the hostel as well, because 40% covers your tuition probably and your hostel fee. So make sure you paid 40% before coming to school. So when you get there, you show them the medical slip. You are probably allowed to drop your luggage, but I resumed a day before the main resumption, so I'm not sure if the order is the same, but I know you definitely have to do your medical test before you can get into the hostel. That is standard. So by the time you drop your stuff at the hostel, the next thing you need to do is to process your document. Now this is where the next thing comes into play: photocopies. You might think this is a very light word. Oh yes, everybody knows about photocopy. Not everybody knows, and Redeemers University takes it a step higher. You need to have at least 10 photocopies of every single document you are going to bring on that day, which includes your application form, your acceptance form. Like, you need to have photocopies because it is very, very important when they are doing your documentation. Another thing that is very important is your passport photograph. I kid you not, you need a minimum of at least 20 passport photographs. I'm not even going to joke with you, I'm not going to exaggerate. Just take 20 with you to be on the safe side, but I tell you, you will not use less than 10. You won't, because you need to drop a passport photograph on every single document when you are submitting it for documentation. So make sure you do your passport photograph. It is not a joke. It is not a joke. Another thing you need is your WAEC scratch card. If you wrote in your school, you should have your card already that has your details on it, and that's what you use to check your results. Make sure you bring it along. Your WAEC result has to have one original copy and then at least 4 or 5 photocopies. The original copy has to be colored, and then the others can be in black and white. Same goes for your JAMB result. One has to be colored and then the others can be in black and white. Make sure you bring your scratch card because it's going to be very expensive to buy that scratch card when you are in school doing your processing of documents and all that. So make sure you have that prepared. After all that is done, they've checked your WAEC result, they've checked your JAMB result, they've checked your medical slip, because they're also going to do that when they're checking your documents. They've checked your medical slip that you got from the health center. The very next thing and the last final step, which you would breathe a sigh of relief, is when you're giving your brown file. Your brown file means you are now a registered student of Redeemers University. That's what all that documentation was for, to get your brown file. And when you get your brown file, you can finally go and rest in your hostel. So I advise you to get to school early on the day of resumption, and I advise you to have all your documents prepared. If you watch my video, you should have your documents prepared, and you're going to have smooth sailing for your registration. So yes, that's basically it about resumption. So in the part 1 video, I said I was going to talk more about some other stuff. So let me talk about the cafeteria, which is something you are going to find interesting, because after your hectic registration, the very next thing you want to get is food. The day I resumed, some of the cafeterias were not open, but I believe you'll be prepared for the freshers this time around, and cafeterias, not all, but at least the ones that you could get good food, will probably be open. You can get good food in any of the cafeterias, don't mind. We have 6 cafeterias. We have Mana, we have Mimi, we have NK, we have Divine Hands, we have Numbers, and then last but not least, we have DP. Personally, I love eating at DP because the food is affordable. Based on my personal experience, if you're looking for nice swallow like semu, eba, soup, go to NK. If you're looking for very, very nice amala, go to Numbers. And then if you're looking for affordable rice that tastes nice, go to DP. You can more or less get the same menu at all the cafeterias, but then some cafeterias just specialize more in some dishes, or they taste better in some cafeterias. cafeteria, if you know what I mean. So yes, that's basically it about the cafeterias. I would personally leave you to try the food yourself and leave in the comment section if my ratings were correct. Okay, so the very next thing is to talk about hostel life. There isn't really much I can tell you about hostel life because it's based on personal experience. Everybody is different, and that's one thing you need to learn when coming into university. Like every single person has been raised differently, and people have different ways of thinking. So just be ready to have fun, be ready to learn about how people were raised, and don't be too surprised by the things you hear. That's basically all I can tell you about hostel life. Now I want to talk about clothing. I don't really know the specifics of what I'm supposed to tell you because I'm not really sure, but I can just give you like a general information about it. The number one thing everybody should know is girls are not allowed to wear anything that has slits. That's just it. You're not allowed to wear anything that has slits. You're not allowed to wear anything exposing. Most of your clothes must be 3 inches. Why am I saying most? All your clothes must be below your knee, 2 inches below your knee. That's just the standard. It has to be 2 inches below your knee. For the guys, I think you guys are not allowed to wear jeans, but I'm not too sure about that. There isn't really much I can tell the guys because I'm not sure about the rules, but the guys' rules are more relaxed compared to the girls, so you guys should be fine. Just dress corporate casual at most. Bring your corporate casual stuff and then you'll be good to go. So talking about clothing would lead me to all the do's and don'ts of Redeemers University, like all your rules. For a girl, you should know standard. This is not allowed in Redeemers University. Number one, the length is not allowed. Number two, the color is definitely not allowed. Redeemers University, you have to have black hair and it has to be shoulder length. That's the standard. That's the, if your hair is any longer than that, you'll be asked to take it off, and you don't want to spend money to make your hair only to be forced to take it off. Number two, proper dressing. When you're coming as a fresher, you might think, okay, I'm not really in the school yet. No, be dressed properly. I would advise you to just wear a simple dress or like a t-shirt and a skirt, but do not wear anything trouser related. Especially for the girls, you are not allowed to wear anything like trousers or jeans. The only time girls are allowed to wear stuff like joggers is during the Saturday sports activities. Okay, so no rings, no necklaces allowed for guys and for girls. It is not allowed in Redeemers University. No piercings are allowed in Redeemers University. You can only have one lobe piercing, so no extra piercings are allowed in Redeemers University. Another thing you need to know about the rules of Redeemers University is this: on my nails, they are not allowed. You are not allowed to have artificial nails except for special occasions during dinners or like lunch. But normally, day to day, you are not allowed to have nails in school at all. Another thing is that cooking is not allowed in Redeemers University. You are not allowed to cook and run. I believe I've touched the basics about Redeemers University and my short recap and tips about Redeemers University. If you have any more questions for me, make sure to drop them down in the comment section and I will make sure that I answer your questions. I hope this information was useful to you. I hope this video made you understand a few more things about Redeemers University and I hope it helps you to be more prepared. Bye. See you guys in my next video.